for Beginners tutorial. This is your starting place. If you are a beginner or if you've been doing it for a while, but you want to really focus on one-hand bow spinning, this is going to be your workout today. It's a simple warm-up move, starting with your hand in the center of the staff. I always put my tape there so I can find the center without thinking about it. And there's a reason for that. I'll show you the reason for that as we go through this tutorial. But how to spin a bow staff, one hand for beginners tutorial, is a very simple, basic concept or workout if you break it down to its smallest components, building blocks. This is the first building block. You have to have wrist strength. You want to keep your hands safe from injury, the joints, the tendons, the muscle. You start with this easy turning motion, side to side, and as you warm up, you can increase the speed a little, and that's going to pull your wrist over more, increasing flexibility, also putting a little bit more pressure in that turn, forcing you to squeeze the muscle and build the muscle more to make it stop. So this is strengthening and flexibility all at the same time. You're also properly preparing yourself for this workout so that you don't have any injury. So just side to side, and I like you to do it for 30 seconds. 30 minutes will make you really strong. But 30 seconds per wrist as a warm-up move. And then the second warm-up move you're going to do is going from one hand into the other hand. You're going to go side to side. Good morning, D Animator. The animator says, hi, working out with us this morning. Just side to side. And it's still just one hand. You're going from one hand to the other one. As you start to get into bow flow or martial arts staff flow training, good morning, Ray, good to see you. You've got to be able to go from one hand to the other one without dropping it on the floor. It's still one hand moves, one hand on the bow at a time. But this will get you really good at that hand transfer. All it is your pinkies come together, palms are facing the sky, you're turning out, and this is also going to increase that pressure or the amount of work and effort that your wrist and your muscles are doing. So you're going to get stronger in your grip while you're also learning how to handle your bow. How to spin a bow staff with one hand for beginners tutorial starts with a proper warm-up every single time. I want you to do like 30 seconds each. Then you're going to put it in one hand and you're going to go to the side of your body. Now the reason for this is that you're going to activate the muscles in the back of that shoulder, which is going to give you more strength. When we talk about how to spin a bow staff with one hand for beginners as a tutorial, I want you to understand that some of the things that you might not be able to do at the beginning is only because you haven't done it enough yet. You'll get strong, and you need to activate more muscle and strengthen more muscle, especially when it comes to the side and the back of your shoulders. And when you do that, that's going to increase your flexibility, your mobility, your ability to get around, the endurance, how long you can do it, and your overall strength. 30 seconds there. Bring it out to that other hand and do the same thing. Just up and down, increasing flexibility, engaging and activating the muscle in the back of the shoulder. Posterior deltoid, I think they call that. You have the anterior, the front, you have the medial or the side, and then there are 3 heads of that shoulder muscle. And you're going to strengthen them all with these exercises. After 30 seconds there, we're going to go back to a hand-to-hand spin, but I want to show you how you do this. I'm going to lift the camera a little bit. I'm going to change the angle. And I haven't turned on the air yet this morning. It's about 85 degrees in here, sunny South Florida. I'm going to get a good sweat going, warm up fast. Now this is that same move that you did in front of your body, going from one hand to the other hand. And because you're doing it overhead, again, you're activating more of the muscle in your shoulder. And you're also going to be able to learn how to bring it behind the back and over the head, behind the back of the head. You might hit yourself like I do. Every single workout I still do. I've been doing this for I started when I was under 10. I'm 50 now. So we'll say 40 plus years. I still hit myself. I still drop it. Not as much, but when you do hit yourself and you do drop it, don't get so frustrated. Ray asked, can it help loosen tight shoulder blades? Absolutely, 1000% yes. And the other great thing about it, Ray, is that as you start to open your chest, getting the staff out here, it's also going to correct your posture by activating the muscles that pull you together, which is a reason why a lot of people have frozen shoulders or stuck shoulders. So you're gonna go overhead for 30 seconds, side to side. This is all just to warm up to get ready to start spinning your bow in one hand. And you have two hands, so we're gonna do everything you do on one hand, you're gonna do on the other hand. You're gonna become ambidextrous with your bow staff. Now there's one more warm up, and it's the one where you go behind your back and bring it out. So again, going from one hand into the other hand, and I'll turn around, I'm gonna change the angle again, and I apologize, I don't have an active camera person this morning. I never have an active camera person, it's always me. Not yet, we'll get them. I was doing this thing with another place where I do some part-time work just to pay the bills, and that organization had a camera team. They had light people and sound people, and I was just watching that thinking, wow, that's pretty amazing. D Animator says, when we do the figure eight, why do I place my hand in front of my chest? I'll tell you that in just a second. Now from here, I'm gonna bring it to here, thumb up, pinky down, pull it out, bring it back out, and that's all that is, just pull it out. So you're going behind the back and out. And this is going to help, again, with shoulder muscle activation and flexibility. I keep hitting myself this morning in my calf and my ankle, and it's because my shoulders are stiff. And I start almost every morning with either a bow workout, sometimes I'll do an Indian swinging clubs workout, but it's all to get the blood flowing in and loosen them up, and they feel great all day after that. So you're coming out, side to side, 30 seconds, and you're gonna feel it starts to improve your flexibility. You're gonna start to be able to do more and more moving back in that direction. Now let's go into the one hand spins, because this workout this morning, our workout together is all about how to spin a bow staff, one hand, for beginners, and it doesn't have to be beginner, you might have been doing it for a while, how to get better at it, a tutorial. Now, I have my orange side and my purple side here for a reason. And so as you're watching me, you can see that when we go into this first spin, which is gonna be the figure eight, and you asked about why you put the hand here, I'm gonna give you that answer in about 10 seconds. But I wanted you to get started spinning with me while we talk. I like to move and talk at the same time. I don't like to stop and lecture and have you stop and listen. I talk too much for that. You'd never get anything done. So you're gonna go down, side to side, slow as smooth, smooth as fast, and you can focus just on one side. Think of it as your thumb side. Just move your thumb side down and up, down and up. Now the reason this hand stays up, I like to have it here. You can put it here to make sure it's up. Put it here, make a good habit of defending your head. Don't let anybody hit you in the head, but don't ever leave it here. See what I did? It's as simple as that. It's that base. That's why your hand has to be up. When you hit your arm over and over again, it slows you down. Mostly though, I want you to get your hands up, get in the habit of guarding your head. Don't let them hit you in the head. No matter what style of martial arts or self-defense or weapon you're using, always guard your head. Always have one hand up. Don't ever let it dangle in the dirt, right? Don't ever let it just sit there hanging down, not paying attention to it. Martial arts weapons will teach you proprioception or spatial awareness, timing and distance. And all that requires knowing where you exist in space and time. So when you fight and you defend yourself, which you won't be doing with spins, by the way, you know where everything is. Good morning, Sahar. Yes, Sahar asks, Sahar says, bow staff is short, is that okay? And the answer is absolutely 1000% yes. If your staff is not as long as mine, doesn't matter. I started with a broomstick, which came up to about here. That's a good way to start. Whatever you have is the best way to start. Don't wait to start. Now, again, sideways figure eight, going in, put your right foot forward, it's in your right hand, practice. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I'll show you from the side. Try to get a little closer without hitting the camera stand. Bring it in, bring it back. Notice that my hand is closed. It might be a little relaxed, that's okay. Squeezing will change the color of your skin. You'll know that's too hard. But having it closed will increase the flexibility of your wrist. If you open your hand, you increase the chances of dropping it, and it's just bad form. You'll be able to do it a little bit quicker at first, but you'll give up flexibility. So close your hand and fight for your flexibility. Fight for it. Increase, especially if you're getting older and you need to increase flexibility. Go to the other hand, go for 30 seconds. 1, 2, 1. And I want you to do it in 2 planes of motion. The first plane is in front of your body, crossing the middle line or your midline. It's good for your brain. Transverse plane, one side to the other side. 1, 2, 1, 2. Then I want you to stand up so that your feet are just under your body. So we call this kind of a neutral stance. Your feet are just directly under your shoulders. You're squared up. That makes me wide. If I step back into a better position, a fighting position, that makes me smaller. And for self-defense, that's what we're going to do. Good morning, Wilson. Wilson says good morning. Now you're going to come forward and back to the front and the back of your body. Let me show you how that looks different. You were here first, and you're learning how to spin a bow staff with one hand for beginners. In this tutorial, I want to work on different ranges of motion. So super slow, leading with that thumb. Leading with the thumb. To the front of the body and the back of the body. Now I showed you from the side with the foot forward, but this is the same as this. I was just giving you that different view so you can see it. This one is different where your arm was here. Your arm is now here, going to the front and the back. And again, you're going to activate all the muscles there. And the question earlier was, why is your hand on your chest when you're spinning? Just a habit. I want you to get it up eventually. Get in a fighting position. Guard your head. Don't let them hit you in the head. But no matter what, don't let it just hang there at the side. You have to become mentally aware of your whole body. You have to have a spatial awareness. You have to know what's happening to the front, to the back, to the side, especially in self-defense and martial arts. So you never let any hand just hang there. You also want to develop the habit of guarding your head, just like that. Good answer, Wilson said to Sahar, as long as you can do the spins. So I didn't do this side yet. We'll do 30 seconds to the side with my right hand. Bring the other hand up. Feet just directly under your body. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And when you're ready, squeeze your abdominal muscles, squeeze your belly. Drop your chin a little bit, increase your breathing a little deeper, and go faster. Add a little turn of your upper body. This is when you really want the hand up so you don't smack yourself in the face. It's better to hit your arm than your head. After 30 seconds there, I want you to go into a one-hand bow spin over the wrist, or a wrist roll. You're gonna go one direction and back the other direction. 1, 2. And it's as simple as turn it out, open your hand, and let it roll. Let me show you on this one without the watch. So from here, open, open. The animator says, do you need to be in both arms? Are you asking, should you do both sides? The answer is yes. Always do both sides equally. And you'll become more ambidextrous, and you will become, your flow will be so much better. Because eventually, we're going to start to do all these spins. I'm going to bring it around, change directions. We're going to do all kinds of tricks and techniques. Whoa. I missed that one, it went flying. But I want you to be able to do all of what we call freestyle. You're going to do both flow arts, or freestyle. Flow arts is kind of the new term. The old term is bow staff, or freestyle. Sorry, losing my train of thought this morning. Don't know if you noticed in my voice, I'm a little extra tired. But that's the best reason. It's the best time to train is when you're tired. Because if you're not tired and you just simply feel great all the time, You're really not getting out of your comfort zone. You're not pushing. And think about when you need the most discipline. It's when you're tired. When do you need the best habits? When you're tired, when you don't feel like it, when you're emotionally overdrawn, when you're feeling sad or lonely or depressed or frustrated. That's when you need good habits. You need to be able to make your bed, brush your teeth, keep your bills paid, get to work on time, get your homework done and turned in. Study for the test. When you're tired, study for the test. You have to do the work when you don't feel like it. That's when you get the most discipline, get the most value and benefit training like this when you're tired. And that might mean you're going to smack yourself more. I already have dropped it more than I normally do. I've hit myself more than I normally do this morning. That's good. That's a good sign. If someone attacks you and you need to defend yourself, it's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be a pleasant experience. Your heart's going to be racing. You're going to be terrified. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be angry. You're going to feel indignant. All of those emotions will be true. You'll be exhausted. Your heart's going to be racing, and you're still going to defend yourself. You're going to fight until the fight's over and you win for self-defense. So you might as well train when you're tired. It's the best time. Push yourself. The more you do, the more you can do. It's all about capacity, endurance. So again, all I'm doing is I'm opening the hand and I let it balance there and I turn my hand over to catch it and then I bring it back the other way, open the hand, turn my hand to here to catch it. Now this is a rattan bow or a rattan staff. Wilson said, good to get out of your comfort zone to grow, and absolutely, Wilson, you're right. In fact, you only grow outside your comfort zone. You'll never grow in your comfort zone. It's impossible. You either stay the same or you get worse. And I know you don't want to go worse. And if it just takes a little bit of discomfort, get used to being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and you'll grow. You'll grow consistently. And learn to rest for short periods. Don't take months off. Take a day off. Take a half a day. Take 2 days off. Take the weekend off and get back to work. And when you don't feel like it on Monday, do it anyway. It's like when you're eating healthy foods. You say, I don't like spinach. You're not eating it for the taste. You're eating it because it's got the nutrients your body needs. I don't like to eat chicken, or I don't like beans, or I don't like broccoli. Don't eat it for the taste. Eat it because it's good for you. I'd rather drink a Coca-Cola than a glass of water. I don't like water has no taste. You're not drinking it for the taste. You're drinking it because your body needs clean, fresh water with no corn syrup in it and no junk. So get over it. Stop saying what you can't do or you won't do and start doing things that you have to do and you should do. That's what discipline is. Wilson just wished everybody great training experiences every day. Thank you, Wilson. That's a kind wish for our virtual martial arts family. So this is the rattan staff. It's super lightweight. Not super, it's medium weight. It's flexible. This is a fun staff to train with because you can do both practical self-defense training. You can also do all of the spinning that we like to do, which is not self-defense. Spinning is not self-defense. Spinning is fun. Spinning makes you better at self-defense. All right, so we just did wrist rolls. We started with that single hand butterfly. Now I want to reverse, pulling, not the butterfly, the figure eight, pulling it up with my pinky side, where before I was pushing with my thumb. And you find this is a little bit faster, where before I focused on orange, I'm now going to focus on purple. Pull the purple. Pull it up and over. Put that right foot forward. Make your body a smaller target. Come to one side and come back to the other side. Now I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see it. Let truth be said. Keep on spinning, everybody. Cauchu says, Cauchu Toro, thank you. Good advice, good tips for all of us. Keep spinning. So you're pulling it up. I'm facing this way, still going from one side of the body to the other side. Let me show you from this angle. Just pulling up and over. Put it into the other hand. This time the orange side is coming out of my pinky, so I pull the orange side. Slow and smooth, smooth as fast, but when you get it, pull your belly up and in, increase your speed, hand up, small turns with your hips and your shoulders, and then bring it to the side and do the same thing. The animator says training makes him or her happy. And I don't know, with a name like the animator, doesn't matter, right? Makes you happy. The animator training makes me happy as well. To the front and the back. And this is where you're gonna feel that speed and be able to do those cool moves that you see other people doing. Get that nice whipping sound. But start slowly. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Wilson says, I have a few different staffs and lengths to practice. I like that too, Wilson. I have, as you know, a whole corner full, 2 corners now. Weights, staffs, materials. And I like to do that because sometimes a thicker one will work up my grip better. Sometimes a heavier one feels better on growing my strength. Sometimes lighter. I feel like I need to go lighter to protect my shoulders when they're super tight until I warm up, and then I go heavier. But you can see a whole bunch of different staff options below if you go to that link, that first link. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. When you're ready, get it to whip. Bring it really fast. How many strikes are in their bow staff? I don't know. Sahar asked how many strikes there are in bow staff. I've never counted. There are 2 ways to do strikes. Palms facing out, palms facing each other. You can, in this position, these are more Chinese in nature, Chinese style. Those are blocks. There's a strike. There's another strike. You have thrusting motions, striking motions here, coming up. And then if you change your hand grip, you have more of the Japanese Okinawan style where there's no spin. No spin in the Okinawan, the Japanese style. The spin is superfluous, meaning it's just not necessary in that style. I like to blend all the styles because I've been doing it for so long. And I find from my own personal experience that all this spinning makes me better at handling the bow. But to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know how many strikes there are. I've never counted. I don't know how many spins there are. And the truth is, there are some that probably I don't know. I don't know everything. Always remember that. No one you talk to is ever going to know everything. It doesn't exist, right? Everybody's going to learn and grow. And if you find somebody who promotes themselves as being stronger, better, more knowledgeable than everybody, run. You need somebody who understands that, because if you've done it long enough, you realize there's no such thing as the one person who can win every single fight. You might be able to win so many people over here. Thank you, Wilson. Wilson says, congratulate for provide these free classes. It's my pleasure. When you guys train with me, that gives me the most benefit. I get more out of it than you do. But the fact is, there's no one martial artist who could beat everybody ever. No boxer who could beat everybody. Think about Muhammad Ali, who won and won and won all of a sudden, or Mike Tyson. And then he has all these life challenges, finds the person who has too much to lose, and gets knocked out and loses. There's no such thing. Always learn from everybody that you can. You don't have to believe everything, and you don't have to train in everything that you learn, but be open to it. Bruce Lee said that. Bruce Lee said, learn everything you can, take what works for you, and understand that it's not good, it's not bad, it's simply different. Okinawan style or Chinese style, Kung Fu style. Or there's not really a Korean style, but a lot of Koreans use kind of a blend. That's how I got started, a blend between the Japanese and the Kung Fu style. And then there's Indian style, Salambam, and the Tamil martial art, the Gakta and Kirapati, and all the different Indian styles, which are really the origin of all of the staffs. Everything goes back to India and Asian martial arts, just because it's an older culture. And then through Buddhism, and especially Dharma Buddha, goes to Shaolin and teaches the monks how to use the bow. And that might not be accurate. That might be a movie thing, right? What do I know? Again, don't trust everything. Hear it, understand it, and then verify. And it doesn't really matter so much, right? All right. Thank you, Wilson, for answering some of those questions that I don't see. Now, we've done forward spinning, reverse spinning. I want to do a palm spin, which is a new spin. It's not a new spin for me, but it's a new spin we've been doing together. And I really like it. The teenagers this week here in person, they started to add it to their overhead spin. And it's another way to spin a bow staff, or spin a bow. Bow staff means staff, but spin a bow with one hand over your head, and you can leave it there if you get it going long enough. And yeah, again, it's gonna fall, and every time it falls down, pick it up. So let's say you're starting to do your bow flow, and you're going through, and you're doing some cool things, and you decide to go over your head and bring it back down, and the next time you go over your head, you want to change directions and spin it. This is called the palm spin. So from here, I'm going to try to drop down a little bit. I'm just going to turn from one side to the other side. When I do, I'm going to open my hand, try to spin it once or twice. If you can get it 2, try for 3. Didn't even get 1, so I've got to start over. I've got to do it again. Oh, Wilson said he has a palm spin in his form. That's awesome. I saw, like I said, this week, a lot of the teens who are in my older leadership class for young people, they were just naturally adding this palm spin in, and I thought, that's really cool. I didn't even mention that you could do that. I hadn't really thought about it, and all of a sudden, they're doing some cool stuff in their overhead. And that's the great thing about this martial arts community, is that I don't think of everything. I don't know everything. You guys are gonna know as much as I do or more in the future, and then you talk to each other, you help each other out. Like Wilson's been doing this morning, and then boom, all of a sudden, the community takes over. Who's in charge, right? Oh, good, and the next spin. We haven't done the next spin. I'm going to do the next spin this week just because when I teach it in person, for whatever reason, a lot of people are uncomfortable with it. So I've been thinking about how to break it down. I've been teaching a lot in person this last few weeks because I have had some requests for the next spin. Just go one way, go the other way when you're learning how to spin a bow staff in one hand. For beginners in this tutorial, I want you to do an overhead palm roll. And there's one more, the last one, and then I have a private lesson. I have a young man who is working hard on leveling up, going to the next level for him, and he's coming in for a lesson. I make this guy, and he's younger. I think he's like 12, 13, but I make him do at least 500 kicks in a class. And most people don't want to do that. This is a secret I'm going to tell you. If you're the instructor and you do it with them, they'll do everything you do. If you're the instructor and you just teach from the neck up, right? There's a lot of people in my industry who teach from here up, and you can see them. From here down, they might be a little bit bigger than than what's healthy, right? But if you teach from the neck up, you'll always stay in shape and you'll be able to demonstrate. That doesn't mean you're gonna not age, but when you stop working out, you get older fast. And then all of a sudden you're still teaching, but you're not working out. You're teaching from here up. And your student says, well, can you do this? Can you do that? And you're like, well, when I was 19, I could. Who cares? Or you keep your, some great tutorials from Arkosh. Yeah, I want to take a look at those, Wilson. Thanks for pointing that out. And then you go in the martial arts school, and sometimes they have 100 trophies or 1,000 trophies or 500 trophies, and they're all around the room. And half of them are broken. Because people felt knocked into them. They're all dusty. And they all represent accomplishments of the past. I don't care what you could do when you were younger. What can you do now? How can you add value to my life right this minute? And I don't care if you're 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100-year-old martial artist, because I've met both. I haven't met many old, out of shape martial artists past 60 or 70 because they just simply, their health is so bad, they don't lift that way. Yes, so the animator says, your bow is too heavy for spingers or finger rolls, finger rolls. Any tips? Here's the tip. Use your other hand, this hand, and assist. As it goes around, slow and smooth. It is brutal but true. Thank you for saying that. W9 UFO. There's a lot of UFOs in the news lately. Coming around. It's intriguing to think about. Wilson says, kicks are important for balance. Always keep practicing. You will always be able to do what you need when you need. Wilson, that's very enlightened. Again, a very astute comment. That's true. You're going to be able to do what you need to do, but train. I have people say to me all the time, well, if you don't do a lot of training, none of that stuff works. And I say, you're right. Why didn't I think of that, right? Oh, you mean if I don't train, I'm not going to be able to defend myself very well? Yeah, you're right. If I don't grow, but I've also seen these martial arts masters in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and even over 100 years old. I remember this one Kung Fu master, Wallum Kung Fu, bouncing around on a main stage at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Martial Arts Classic, which was run by my instructor, still is, after all these years. I remember the first year, the Arnold Sports Classic in Columbus, Ohio. It's one of the biggest sports events in the world. It's got bodybuilding. It's got all kinds, every martial art you can imagine. It's got gymnastics, arm wrestling, strongman, you name it. Every year they add gymnastics, cheerleading. Every year they add more sports. And Arnold himself goes and hands out most of the trophies in all those divisions. He works his bum off the whole weekend. Anyway, I remember this old guy, and I don't know how old he was. He was old. And we had a lot of older Koreans come in because my instructor's Korean and he's older now, and his contemporaries and his mentors who were older. Yes, sweating is good. Get the blood flowing, your body will change, and then stretch. But this guy's bouncing. He's doing one leg. I don't know if you guys know what a pistol squat is. I'm not going to be able to do it right now, but a pistol squat basically is you go down on one leg and you push yourself up. And this guy does a pistol squat down as part of his Wallum Kung Fu form, praying mantis, I think. And he bounces all over the stage on one leg, up in the air, from total squat, one leg sticking out, just bouncing. And that's a guy who doesn't teach from the neck up. He does everything. Steve, good to meet you this morning. We're just, the question was, how do you spin through your fingers if your staff is heavier? And I said, assist with the other hand. Or when you're beginning, assist. And then once you get it, I want you to do this continuous finger roll. And I also want you to do a 3-finger finger roll, which goes around. These 3 fingers come together, your thumb takes it. So you go 1, 2, 3. These 3 fingers come around, your thumb takes it. Or like Judo Gene LaBelle. You know, he's another guy who, Dan Inosanto. How could I forget about Dan Inosanto? Filipino martial arts, Wing Chun, Jeet Kune Do, one of Bruce Lee's students in the movies with Bruce Lee. And he's in his 80s, and he's still teaching seminars. And he gets out there, and he teaches it, and he lets them take him down. And he's doing sticks, knives, grappling, hand-to-hand. So you get a good martial artist, they practice what they preach. You get one who does not, and they're about 450 pounds, and that's not an exaggeration. The number of Soki, 10th degree, Soki means founder, so, and they call them like Sifu, they call themselves. You know, they'll introduce themselves. Hi, my name is Sifu Soki, Sifu Sensei Soki. And they've given themselves different titles from different languages, different martial arts, to let you think or make you think that there's some kind of amazing martial artist, and maybe they were when they were 22 or 16, and now they're 48 and they're heavy. They're 450 pounds or more, and they're still teaching from here up. And they're talking about back in the day, it's like the high school football player who is 500 pounds, and the last time they ran was in high school. And you're like, that's great. That's what you did. You're 50, you know, and when you were 19 or when you were 16, you were the state champion. What are you doing today? What are you doing this morning? Did you touch your toes? Did you do a couple of deep knee bends? And I'm not making fun. It's a warning for us all. We've got to get, true. Mr. Parker was. And there's still a lot of Parker martial arts schools out there. He was smart too. He put himself into a sunny, beautiful place. I think he was in Hawaii, right? Like I'm down here. Oh, Bill Superfoot Wallace. What am I thinking of? He trains down the street. He and I would train in the same gym, and he'd come in the morning, and I'm working out with my boxing coach, and he's in the corner warming up, and he's 74, 75. He's older than that now. He's still teaching, still training, and every day he's got a commitment. So when you do this 3-finger roll, commitment to his own life, commitment to being alive and being active and being able to, and he's not, it doesn't look like somebody who just can't move anymore. He moves extremely well. He's very fast. He's very flexible. He's very agile, and he's got great endurance. And he moves like he's still in his 30s. Now, could he fight in UFC? No, but he could have fought another 70-year-old probably, but that's not the point. The point is he's kept himself in great shape, and he has an extremely high quality of life because of martial arts, and you will too, even if your martial art is spinning. I don't know. I've never counted. I have a passion. Whether it's actually going to a school, training with an instructor, or going to seminars, or like the school where I grew up and spent the most time, that martial art, the Korean master, he would bring in multiple other instructors, and he had Kung Fu and Taekwondo, which was really Shotokan karate and Isshin-ryu and Shorin-ryu, and we would train with the Kyokushinkai guys, and those are the ones that kick through the baseball bats, and those guys hit hard. They don't mess around. Yeah, Steve, come on over. Where are you in Florida? I'm in West Palm Beach, or in Palm Beach County. Thank you, Kachu. Says, God bless everybody and your family. Steve says he's here in sunny South Florida. I asked him what part. Citrus, awesome. I'm guessing Citrus is more in the middle. I grew up in Ohio, so I've been here a couple years almost. Getting a feel for the lay of the land. All right, so those are what I want you to work on. Those are how to spin a bow staff, one hand, for beginners, tutorial. Start with the basics. Start with your warm-ups. Learn how to do figure eights forward, figure eights in reverse. Throw in wrist rolls, because eventually you're going to start doing figure eights and you're going to wrist roll, learn the finger rolls, because you're going to throw those in too, and that's going to change all the things that you can do. Do it to the front and the back of your body, wrist rolls behind you, finger rolls behind you, and you'll be able to do all kinds of cool stuff. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you in just a little bit. Hopefully we'll have another one of these today. I think the next one we're either going to do bow staff or the shorter martial arts staff, or I'm going to do one of the fun weapons I like to do, like nunchucks or not the fan. I did the fan yesterday. Nunchucks or tonfa. I'll see you